Walltown suit, baby. Walltown suit.
So like limitation makes you more creative, I think. Some people are like, oh, I don't have a good camera to start a YouTube video. They're like,
what can you do with
the iPhone?
Yeah, but once you have, because like, okay, you can become a better artist with an iPhone. Imagine what you can accomplish.
Exactly. It's like
because of that structure, then you got a Sony that you can create even more.
Exactly. It's like running with. I think of it like running with weights on.
Yeah,
you know, like
you
take the weights off.
Yeah. It's like you know how a lot of philosophers like to argue about like free will and determinism. Is the world predetermined and preset, or is it you have the free will to sort of make your own narrative? But I think it's both. It's like the thing we're talking about. It's a feedback loop. Like free will can only exist under the context of some sort of structure or determinism. If you're completely free, then you're not free.
The freedom.
Yeah, you have too much freedom, you can't create.
Death is a restriction.
Death is the ultimate limitation for anything that goes on in life.
So sometimes, like, if I have something to do, it's like I think it's gonna take a day. I'm like, yo, let's. What if I put a gun in your head and you had to do it in an hour? What would you do? You'd be more creative. Because if you have a whole day to think about it, then you'll do.
That's why people who want to be immortal. If you're immortal, if you can live forever, you're gonna put everything on hold.
No urgency.
No urgency to do it. Yeah. A million tiny BBCs are poking through my skin, hitting my brain, and I'm ready to do my games.
You feel like what? What's it going? A million what?
A million BBCs poking through my skin.
Because of the fight crew?
Yeah. That's my review.
Because I was real good. I was like good at like to the point like really like I always had like musical talent. Like so like the teacher.
That goes back to what we're talking about. Fitness and like creativity and music go together.
I think so.
Because the Greeks back in the days, the soldiers, the warriors, they didn't be trained to like play an instrument. So their body and mind can coordinate, and then they can develop their like visualization skills and their imagination. So when they go out to the battlefield, they can actually carry that out. Just like Kobe, like before he goes into the game, you have to like construct that whole reality, that future alternate reality in your head first, and you don't have the imagination capacity to do that. Then when you go out there, you don't have anything to work. You don't have nothing to mold. So in a way, it's like you're building like a sculpture. When you lift weights and when you like go into a battle, you're building a sculpture in your head, and you know what I'm saying. But the object of that creativity is yourself, and it's like the environment that you go out there and allows you to better yourself.
When his Sun Tzu said, "The successful warrior wins the battle with his mind," or some shit like that.
You were talking about the fake natties, right? Because in the bodybuilding community, there are a lot of people. Yeah, it's a big deal. A lot of people who are not natural, they claim to be natural, and then kids who follow them would think they can attain that body without supplements, but then they're being lied to, right? But and then I feel like now with the virtual world, with like YouTube videos, like with the online thing going on, there's actually another layer on top of that, because people start to Photoshop their images too. So it's like, it's not just about lying about your physical body anymore. It's about lying about the image of your physical body.
It's
That's
another
the next level. Yeah. That's crazy. I almost look at it as sort of a sign that the world is becoming more abstract, more mental, because we're transcending into the virtual. Even something as physical and as something as embedded in the material world as bodybuilding, with the online culture and the manipulation of your body on Photoshop, it's just kind of, it's very, very deceptive, but at the same time there's beauty in it, because as I said again, it's a sign that the sort of the world is just being uploaded onto the higher dimension.
It bothers me when people say, "Oh man, they're lying to the youth," or like, for instance, people say me, like, you know, I get accused of being on shit and I'm just like, yo, it really doesn't fucking. I think it doesn't
matter,
fucking
right? It doesn't matter,
because people who like do my shit, they get results.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So like,
different people are different
exactly.
bodies. Yeah.
You're not gonna, just because some guy's a weightlifter, whether he's natty or not, doesn't mean he can teach you.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about, because there's a difference between a weightlifter and a teacher. Like, me and you were working out before YouTube existed.
Yeah.
So like, of course you're not gonna fucking watch my YouTube video and look like me, even if you're on fucking drugs, right? But I think if people follow my shit, my advice, I know I can make them, they'll get better, and I got evidence to support that.
For you, you already have that base, you already have the physical manifestation of what you preach before the screen.
Yeah.
So this is you and your body.
Yeah.
You already built up a base. And then YouTube came out, Instagram came out, and then you put that body into the screen.
Right.
And then people see that screen.
Yeah.
But then for a lot of other people, they started with the screen.
Right.
So they started with the screen before they have the base. So
that's what they're doing.
They have to compensate for all the 10 years of work before the screen to fit into that screen. So they start taking steroids. They start manipulating their images on Photoshop.
Yeah. They're taking shortcuts because they don't have the foundation.
So
that's why they do it.
Yeah, they start with the screen and they try to go backwards, and that kind of fuck you up.
Yeah,
you know
I'm like, I don't know, maybe it just bothers me because I had to do all this fucking work unseen, and now motherfuckers are getting, just for having abs, they're getting fucking recognition or something. I'm like, nah, man, it ain't about your fucking abs.
It's not about your abs. It's about who you help.
Who can you help? Can you take a motherfucker and make him look different? 60 to 90 days.
So
from
like,
now. That's it.
Your results is actually on other people.
Yeah.
So
like,
I think
that's why I even changed my Instagram. If you look at it, it's like every other picture is a transformation that someone sent me.
Not your body.
Not how fucking hot I am.
Yeah. Other people's body, like, it's a manifestation of your mentality.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you're actually posting like your psyche.
Yeah. Like,
you know
to me, I'd rather, like, it may not get as many likes or some other dumb shit, but that's more impressive to me than a Lamborghini or a motherfucking fucking being ripped.
Because you're changing a person's life. You're actually molding their mind, their bodies. You're changing their whole universe.
Your whole mind changes. It's not just your fucking body.
Every person has a universe inside their minds. So every person is a universe, right? So when you have an effect on a person's physique or whatever, you change their life around. You're fucking changing a universe. You're sort of creating another universe.
Yeah. Shit! It's like a little clay, little molds.
Yeah. And then back to the point you were talking about being a teacher and how like some people don't have the potential to be a teacher.
Yeah.
I feel like the opposite is also true in a way. Like, some people don't look like they lift, but they know a lot about how to teach people.
Exactly. I used to shit on that, but now I've changed. I used to shit on that, but now I
yeah, me too. I actually, I used to go to art school, but the best teachers are not the best artists.
It's a different skill set.
It's a different skill set.
It's a different skill set.
Just like a lot of rappers, they're really good. They're really creative, really good at freestyle. Like a lot of basketball players, they have like 45-inch vertical. They're really talented, you know, but they can't coach. And the coaches aren't the best players. It's like different people have different roles.
It's a different
so you
skill
can't
set,
really
man.
judge. Like, sort of, you can't judge a book by its cover in a sense.
It's like,
sometimes it's the opposite.
I used to say, like, oh man, out of shape trainer is like a homeless success coach, right? But now I feel like
sometimes the people that don't look that good, they actually are.
Because they're not fucking so focused on themselves and the best selfies.
Exactly.
They're focused on the other people. So sometimes it can be, or like, Phil Jackson can't dunk now.
If you spend all your time thinking about how you're gonna mold other people's body, how you're gonna train your basketball team, you're not gonna have time for you to think about how you're gonna perform. Phil Jackson didn't care about if you can dunk or not. You know,
Phil Jackson was never as good.
He
was never as good as Michael or Kobe or Shaq or Scottie Pippen. but they couldn't win a championship until he coached them.
Yeah.
He was good. I mean, you got to know the fundamentals. Like he was a player. He played on the Knicks and and won a championship with the Knicks, but he wasn't like the star. Yeah. He wasn't like motherfuckers didn't have Phil Jackson posters up in their wall.
But what if, what if Brian is inspired by the people from Shirts or by Jeff's side, and then he sees that image, and then he works out really hard, and he transforms himself to become that image. Mm-hmm. Even though that image is fake, it still affected him in a positive way.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have a poster of Arnold Schwarzenegger in my house. Pause. And I will never look like him, unless I take that next step.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes it's irrelevant whether this person is on steroids, if it photoshops. It's just like how okay, we're living in this world. It's like the Matrix. It might not be real. It might be a simulation. Like the screens. Even when I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. It might just be a simulation. It
might just be bullshit.
Everything might just not be real. But that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna wake up tomorrow morning and brush my teeth and go work out, go to work or whatever. You have to still apply certain logic to even a simulation. You know what I'm saying? So that's not gonna stop you from just. That's not the rules in like a simulation is still within that context is still solid. That's what I'm trying to say. So sometimes
I don't know, man. I don't know. You might have, man. You got a little too deep for me, man. So what about dick and pussy?
Instead of spending so much time worrying about whether this person is natty or not, instead of spending so much time figuring out whether maybe you live in a simulation.
Yeah.
Just
I'm just saying, just work on yourself.
Yeah, that's the point. Just work on yourself.
And if you're worried about they're worried about somebody fake natty ripping you off or just all you got to do is see if they're helping people.
It's still just an image.
But I have been fucked up with the Photoshop with chicks on Instagram. You see them in real life.
That happens to me all the time. This one time, I think 7 or 8 years ago.
She got me, man. She got me, man. She did a fucking. She Devin physiqued me. Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it, man.
Meeting up with this chick a long time ago. I said, the angles that they do, right?
Yeah, the angles, man. The angles.
Even I Skyped with this girl, and then I thought she was skinny and pretty, and then when I saw her in real life, suddenly she gained 20 pounds.
Oh shit!
Overnight.
And I just want to get my orgasm back.
She's fucking huge, right? Yeah. Like obese, right? But I didn't know. I mean, my dumb ass. It was only you never the full body pics. It's just from here, these titties, nigga. And then I think, that's why, because it's motherfucking still smashed, but I'm just saying, it wasn't what I was expecting, you feel me?
But if you bang
with some real natty titties, though.
But you know what you need to do if that happens? You just need to film you having sex with her from that angle.
From that angle.
So that you throw back the image back into the universe, and then you show other people that image. Yeah. So it's like a reverse mindfuck. Yeah, it's all about.
I think we made some progress here. I think we've helped some people here.
It's all about just distinguishing between the different layers of reality.
Layers.
There's layers to this shit. People get mixed up between layers. They take one layer, they try to connect it with a different layer. That's what fucks them up. But if you know the limits and the capacity or the aesthetics or whatever within that layer, if you recognize the different layers, then I think it's safe. It's when you are confronted with a layer that is apart from what you think is the true layer.
You're losing me again, man. You're losing me. I'm telling you,
that's when you.
That
moment when you see that chick, how it's so different from the image that you had in your head based on that virtual layer. That's when what they call the glitch in the matrix.
Shows is out here glitching the matrix up.
You just gotta be careful and just gotta recognize and be aware of the glitch in the matrix. Then you can jump around different layers, and that's the conclusion. Still on different screens, sir.